There's where you come from, and then there's who you've become, and the different crowds that you run with, and you're able to wear the different hats. They're just different sides of you.
Is this me?
Being one thing and coming from one group and
Yeah.
growing into something else. You're still becoming a different person and you're changing and growing, trying to reconcile who you were and the things that you liked, but also mourning the loss of some of that.
You will always be my mother.
You may belong with different groups, you may belong with different lives, but what do you want? Like, where are you gonna land?
You came back. I came home.
How do we both honor and appreciate our similarities while honoring and appreciating our
celebrating.
differences and celebrating our differences?
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy. I'm joined by my co-host,
Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. And speaking of movies, what are we doing today?
We're going to watch a movie and then we're going to talk about it.
Yes, you have accurately summed up what we've been doing for the past 5 years. What movie are we doing?
I'm going to have you react to Tarzan.
Tarzan!
You're saying it wrong.
I love this movie. I have loved it since I saw it on a date at 18.
Wow.
It's a pretty good date movie when you're 18 years old.
I'll bet. I saw it on a date with my wife about a few months ago for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, I hadn't seen it before.
It was one of your movie holes?
It was a movie hole.
Why am I letting this happen? Why
You're
am I
encouraging it at this
I know.
point.
Glad we could fill that movie hole with Tarzan.
No. You know what? That's it. I'm done. I quit.
Kerchak, I saved him from Sabor.
Carla, it won't replace them.
Shockingly, the animation in this Disney film is really good.
But it... Carla, look at it. It's not our kind. No. You have to take it back.
Take him back. But he'll die.
If the jungle wants him, then...
I want him.
Carla, I cannot let you put our family in danger.
Does he look dangerous to you?
I love that she stands her ground, but I also love how she stands her ground.
Was it alone?
Yes. Sabor killed his family.
Are you sure?
Yes. There are no others.
Then you may keep him.
Kerchak, I know he'll be a good son.
I said he could stay. That doesn't make him my son. We will nest here for the night.
I mean, this is one of the great things of family therapy. Everyone's perspective and behavior makes sense to them. You could look at Kerchak and be like, oh, what a jerk, until you consider it's his job to keep everybody safe.
He's protecting his family.
Yeah. And I would rather this, to borrow from the Jungle Book, this man cub, I'd rather this man cub die than any of our clan, any of our kin.
Right.
But Kala's perspective is, this is a living thing that can't take care of itself and has no one. And she's just suffered a loss. She needs to nurture. She
Needs
has
to
these
mother something.
Well, because that's her role. Like he protects, she nurtures. She's got this strong nurturing and protective in her own way instinct to care for and make sure this creature survives and is loved. And she doesn't have that chance anymore because she just lost her own child. Again, in family therapy, everyone's behavior makes sense to them. And the real trick is getting it to come together in a way that everyone's satisfied or can live with.
Oh, no.
Who's that?
My mom.
Tarzan!
Hi.
Hi, Aunt Carla.
Oh, you scared me. What happened?
Well,
It's involved because what happened, it was a weird...
What happened?
it was my fault, Kerchak.
Tarzan?
We were playing, and, well, I'm sorry, Kerchak,
You almost killed someone.
but it was an accident.
He's only a child.
That's no excuse, Carla. You can't keep defending him.
But he'll learn.
He will never learn. You can't learn to be one of us.
Because you never give him a chance.
Give him a chance. Carla, look at him. He will never be one of us.
Kerchak! Tarzan!
So obviously, there's 2 in 1. There's interesting social commentary, and then there's the actual animal kingdom.
Sure.
Because, real gorillas and animal herds and packs do act like this.
Sure.
But the social commentary for the human race, in the comparison here, since they are anthropomorphized animals, is the notion of different means you don't belong. Because what does belonging mean? That you're one of us. That's the whole chant. And we all love to get together with people who see things the way that we do, or have shared interests, or shared values, or shared goals. And there's power in that. It's a double-edged sword, because something beautiful also cuts the other way, where it becomes exclusionary, where it becomes harmful to those who want to belong, but they're different. And our great quest psychologically in business and geopolitics, and frankly just on like the family level, is how do we both honor and appreciate our similarities while honoring and appreciating our differences and celebrating our differences.
Yeah.
It's really easy to do the former.
Sure.
It takes a lot of maturity and introspection and checking yourself to do the latter. And then also with this scene, there's a lot of like adoption themes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look like the members of this family. I don't have the same gifts and talents. Everyone just fits together so naturally because they're genetically the same. And like, what am I? And I love what Kala does here when she comes in, what she gets him to see. But first, this desperate desire to, who I am isn't good enough. How I am isn't good enough. I need to be like everybody else.
Tarzan, what are you doing?
Why am I so different?
Because you're covered with mud. That's why.
No! Kerchak said I didn't belong
Close your
in the...
mouth.
Kerchak said I don't belong in the family.
Never mind what Kerchak said. Now, hold still.
Look at me!
I am Tarzan. And do you know what I see? I see 2 eyes, like mine, and a nose somewhere. Ah, here. 2 ears. And let's see, what else?
2 hands?
That's right.
Different but the same.
And he's just noticing the differences. And this is great parenting.
Close your eyes. Now forget what you see. What do you feel?
My heart.
Come here.
Your heart.
See? We're exactly the same. Kerchak just can't see that.
I'll make them see it. I'll be the best ape ever.
Oh, I bet you will.
If you want to see more of us talking about Kala and Kerchak as parents, go to our Ranking Disney Parents episode where they get different scores.
They're the bookends of the list.
Yes.
I love the expression we're more alike than different.
Yeah.
But like you said, our differences are to be celebrated. Why? Because we can learn from them. I mean, the fact is, Tarzan will never be an ape. He won't be the best ape ever. He can be a man with the skills of an ape. And he can teach his tribe things that they would never know, and vice versa. The quest, and he's too young to know this, the quest isn't to fit in by being like everybody else. The quest is to be authentically yourself, and then find the people like Kala, or the apes like Kala, who see and love and accept you as you are. And, recognizing the similarities is where you start to build the bridge, not just in the heartbeat, but like, you've heard me say it before, we all want to feel safe, we all want to feel respected, we all want to feel loved. The flavor that takes, it looks different from culture to culture, or from personality to personality, what have you, but like way down at the core, it's all the same. I've always loved what her hand does here. Just the animation on that is so cool.
How it, like the fingers spread and everything.
That come together and then spread, yeah.
Well, and all of the animation, like, hands are really hard to draw. Try it. Just sit down and draw a hand just from memory.
Oh, it looks bad when I do it.
Yeah, no, it's awful. And there's so much focus on the hands, you know, rightfully so. They make a big deal of it in the books and most of the other Tarzan media because he walks around on his knuckles. He has huge, super powerful hands.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yes, thank you. It's a lovely...
This is the voice of Minnie Driver, but it's really Minnie Driver mixed with your wife. Like, it's this...
Very nice.
Oh, thank you. I can't do a thing with it in this humidity, though. It's... You do speak. And all this time I thought you were just a big, wild, quiet, silent person thing. Why didn't you tell me? I mean, I must say I'm rather curious as to who you are. I mean, I'd love to...
Tarzan. Tarzan.
Tarzan. Oh, I see.
Oh, I see. Tarzan. Oh, I see.
No. I'm Jane.
No. I'm Jane.
No. Jane. Tarzan. Jane.
Well, so the thing with the hands, when he puts his hand up to call his hand, he does it like this, and they're the same, but then he spreads his fingers and sees the difference. And he does the same thing with Jane, but he has to spread his fingers to match hers.
Right.
And the implication is he belongs in both worlds. And I think a lot of you can feel that. There's where you come from, and then there's who you've become, and the different crowds that you run with, and you're able to wear the different hats. And if you're not being fake, if you're not just pretending for acceptance, then what's actually happened is you've grown enough that they're all you. They're just different sides of you. And I think this whole meet cute is really great.
It's really cute.
Yeah, these words just define themselves.
That is getting to a deeper point that I think is one of the reasons that the Tarzan story resonates with people, you know, for 120 years now. It's
Since Edgar Rice Burroughs wrote it, yeah.
And that's the universal experience of being one thing and coming from one group and growing into something else. You learn and change, even if you never leave your hometown, even if you go to work at the factory where your mom or your dad worked. You're still becoming a different person and you're changing and growing, trying to reconcile who you were and the things that you liked, but also mourning the loss of some of that as you become an adult and move into different things.
Something else.
It's a universal experience and it's hard and beautiful and fun and scary and sad.
Everyone, we will avoid the strangers. Do not let them see you and do not seek them out.
They mean us no harm, Kerchak.
Tarzan, I don't know that.
But I do. I've spent time with them.
You may be willing to risk our safety, but I'm not.
Why are you threatened by anyone different from you?
Because natural.
Protect this family and stay away from them.
Tarzan, for once, listen to Kerchak.
Why didn't you tell me there were creatures that looked like me?
I just thought I was some sort of albino freak.
So one thing I really wanted to talk to you about is, like, we're often described as, like, humans are tribal creatures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we other people and we're afraid of things that aren't like us. People with different languages, people with different customs, all of that kind of stuff. This is obviously heightened because it's gorillas versus humans.
Right.
But it's getting at a universal human story. Why are we dumb?
I don't think we're dumb. I think we're instinctive.
Sure.
I think you mentioned, in the clip, this is how the animal kingdom works. This is nature. This is, they're trying to survive. And I think we have inherited this through the generations. The issue with us is that we are most capable of transcending instinct and thinking through things rationally and assessing when does the instinctive response serve us and when is it hurting us. Because the fact is there are times when we ought to be afraid of things that are different. For example, if I'm in the forest and there is a bear, it is different from me in both size, intent, and sharp teeth clawness.
Yep.
I should be wary of that.
Mm-hmm.
I should treat that with respect, keep my distance, right? That is a smart thing to do.
This could be you.
The social commentary and the family therapy commentary here is the notion of stopping, taking a breath, and assessing. Is my instinctive emotional response gonna serve me here or not? Because they are both right. Tarzan is right about Jane and her father.
Because he spent time with them and he knows them.
Kerchak is right because of Clayton and everybody else, all these sailors and all these hunters. And so even though a lot of people are like, oh, Kerchak is the worst and everything, and like, don't get me wrong, he can be a real jerk about it, but his intentions are spot on.
And frankly, not wrong
And not
a
wrong.
lot of the time.
You've got Clayton and his band of hunters down there. And so this is the beauty of family therapy is, okay, we're coming at it from different angles. Everybody thinks they're right. Everybody values something different. And the truth of it is generally somewhere in the middle. Tarzan is right about these select people, and a relationship with them could benefit everybody. Kerchak is right about this group, and we should keep our distance, so what's our play here? I like that Kala for once takes Kerchak's side, because it shows that Kala isn't just blindly like allegiant to Tarzan and one way of thinking.
Yeah.
That Kala is able to assess a unique situation and say, listen, in this case, I actually do side with your father.
Yeah. Well, and from a storytelling perspective, it makes her a more well-rounded character. She can think two different things.
Yeah.
That makes you a better character and more interesting to watch.
If you think you like this show, check out some of the other projects we're working on. They're also good.
Cinema Therapy Studios. We've taken Patreon to the next level, turning ours into an actual film studio. Our patrons are studio executives. You get to actively decide and participate in the pre-production, production, and post-production of Alan's films.
We did a thing! We made a thing!
Don't miss out on the full cinema therapy experience right now.
Murder, She Rolled is a Dungeons & Dragons podcast starring Alan and his friends playing a group of corpses trying to solve their own murders. And if you're new to D&D, don't worry, so is literally everyone on the show. It's a funny, gory, chaotic adventure that is definitely not for kids, but catch us at just the right moments and we give these characters some damn good therapy. As an added bonus, Jono just joined us for a couple of episodes and he plays a much more cutthroat version of himself as the therapist god of secrets. It is a wild ride.
You've got a face that I just want to punch repeatedly.
Listen to us for free on any podcast platform or check out our Patreon at patreon.com/murdersherolled. And while we're talking about tabletop games, we made one! Dungeons & Dragons and games like it can be really hard to find a way into, so I've made a fully illustrated D&D horror campaign book designed for beginners to learn the ropes without all the confusing rules and math. Our fundraising campaign has just a couple of days left, so check it out and back us on Kickstarter at the final seance.
You are absolutely impossible.
Aww.
Tarzan, I was so afraid that you wouldn't come in time. The boat's arrived. The boat that's come to take us home to England. And Dad and I were wondering, I was wondering, we really hope that you'll come with us, won't you?
Go see England today, come home tomorrow.
Oh, no. Well, you see, it would be very difficult to come back. Ever.
Not come back?
Oh, no, I know it sounds awful, but you belong with us. With people.
Jane must stay with Tarzan.
What? Stay here? Oh, don't, my laundry. No, I can't stay. Look, I've got... with my father and...
Jane, stay.
What?
Please.
But I can't.
Women. How typical. Thank you, Jones. Even if you hadn't grown up a savage, you'd be lost. There are no trails through a woman's heart.
Dang it, Clayton. You deserve that gruesome death you have coming.
Holy God, what are you showing me? His head. Come on!
But I do think, speaking of being from two different worlds, in fact, the first song on Phil Collins' excellent soundtrack to this film is called...
No Notes.
Listen, I do love it, and I always have, so...
The songs are super catchy. The lyrics are like Randy Newman level. This is what's happening on screen.
I love it.
Watch this thing you're seeing.
You know what? Screw you. Screw you and your cynicism and perhaps accurate assessment.
Why are you boring me? I'm right.
No, but the first song is called Two Worlds, and Tarzan inhabits both. And so he's thinking, well, I can go to England today and come back tomorrow. And Jane's saying, no, you can't. And for us, this represents you may belong with different groups. You may belong with different lives. But what do you want? Like, where are you going to land? And I don't know that we necessarily have to choose if we're fortunate. We can have our feet in different camps. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's like, well, do I stay home with my parents as they grow old? Or do I go out in pursuit of this career starting my own family? Oftentimes,
or if your birth family is not accepting of who and what you are.
And in Tarzan's case, the family he was raised by is going to stay in the jungle. Like, that's his past. And it seems like his future with Jane is in London. And I don't really have any commentary other than it is a tough struggle to decide what you're going to do with your life. Because whatever door you walk through, you're closing another one. And part of growing up, speaking of having to mourn some things, is mourning the paths that you don't take so you can take the ones that you do take.
Daddy.
Give it to me!
They're dead.
Wait! Tarzan!
Go now! Jane, quickly! Hurry! You're done!
Sometimes you have to make a choice, and it really closes a door.
I didn't... I'm sorry,
I asked you to protect our family. And you betrayed us all.
But again, our family, not my family. It's not a betrayal if Tarzan's not family. Kerchak had accepted him.
Right.
I have had family therapy sessions like this where it seems like everything just got torched in about 2.5 minutes.
Right.
And, and as the therapist, you're trying to keep it from happening. And sometimes people just have too much hurt, anger, or fear. And so then it's all about reconciliation, piecing it back together, or how do we move forward if, as you said, the door is just closed because people are unwilling. And again, good family therapy recognizes this simple fact. Everyone's behavior makes sense to them. It's really hard because based on what any individual values or what their role is, that's how they're going to see the dynamics, that's how they're going to see the world, and they can get really stuck in their rightness. Because based on what I value, this is the right behavior. Based on my role, this is the right course of action to take. But somebody else has different role, different value, and it's all going to collide. And honestly, sometimes it feels like a miracle that healthy relationships exist at all.
Yeah. I talk all the time on this show about how much of a miracle it is that any two people ever fall in love with each other at the same time. That's insane. But yeah, to your point, it's a miracle that anybody gets along.
Right.
Like, why don't we all hate each other?
Yeah.
I'm certainly despicable.
Well, no, you're not. Just on the Phil Collins issue.
See? And our friendship is going to continue for another 20 years.
What saves the day when the day is saved is always just a handful of like similar skills and principles. But it always comes back to accountability and perspective taking. That I can have done a hurtful thing for the right reason and I'm not a bad person. But just because my reason was good doesn't mean that my action didn't cause harm. And I have to be accountable for that. And perspective taking, getting outside of my role, my view, to why the other person sees and is acting this way. And then finding some common ground. That is the answer to my question of how do healthy relationships happen? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the miracle. Oh, darn it. Kerchak taking a muzzle blast to protect his family, which is Tarzan, beautifully enough.
Tarzan. Kerchak, forgive me. No. Forgive me for not understanding that you have always been one of us. Our family will look to you now.
No, Kerchak.
Take care of them. My son.
Such good animation. The subtleties of his eyes keep trying to roll back into his head, and he keeps having to fight to keep his eye on his son while he's talking.
You know, common wisdom at the time in the 90s was like Disney peaked with Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and Lion King, and then started going downhill. Like that's kind of what the people felt at the time. Like even though they liked Hercules, Mulan, and stuff like that, but time gives us perspective on not just this movie, but some of those other movies that people thought were lesser at the time. This, for my money, is every bit as good as Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin. Maybe a step below Lion King, but that's just because Lion King is
an all-time masterpiece. Yeah.
Right. But like the writing on this, the setup and the payoff of the emotional beats and the character arcs is so it's simple and it's clean, but it's poignant and profound.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, look at those. All of the muscles, honestly. I was trying to decide where to focus.
Dude's yoked.
And so, of course, he has now accepted. I mean, he wanted to be with Jane. That was the choice of his heart. But his heart also chooses his family. And he's not going to leave them without a leader. And so the question that was for Tarzan, you know, which of these two worlds do you want to choose, is now posed to Jane. Mm-hmm. And we get the beautiful happy ending, not only of Jane choosing it, but her father just like getting almost naked. And so
listen, it is clearly his natural habitat. This is what he has been looking for his entire life. And he finally gets it. He and his bushy mustache get to live their best lives.
So what are your thoughts on our thoughts about Tarzan? What did we get right? What do you disagree with? Or what did we just plain overlook and miss that you wish we talked about? Let us know in the comments below. So until next time...
Are you sure this water's sanitary? It looks questionable to me.
And watch movies.
This episode, like all of our episodes, is brought to you partially by our patrons over on Patreon. Wonderful people who get extended director's cuts with no ads a couple of days early. People like
Nacho Franco,
Hannah Carpenter,
Brenna,
Alex Torres,
Stacy Ibarra.
Thanks, patrons.
Yeah.